Coming up, she brings history to life and unsung heroes who were never really recognized. That's next on Perspectives. Hello, I'm Sam Jones. You already know that Oklahoma's budget crisis is getting worse. What you may not know is what's not being done about it. Supposedly, the folks at the state capitol are cutting back with hiring freezes, but as I told you a few weeks ago, they left some wiggle room on that one. Hardest hit so far, of course, have been public schools. Some in the legislature would like to do away with public education, preferring to convert to another system, charter or voucher schools, for example. State chamber leaders have repeatedly lobbied for more state support for public schools, but their calls are falling on deaf ears, and that's surprising. The chamber understands if you want to have more business move their operations to Oklahoma, you gotta have rock-solid educational institutions as part of the attraction package. Now, of course, we aren't being told how many companies have turned away from Oklahoma because of the legislature's lack of support for education, but somebody has to know how many have looked at our state and said, no way. But now, in an act of desperation, the state school superintendent is begging for over $56 million in the form of an emergency funding request. Why? Well, it's very simple. School systems have already cut their budgets to the bare bone. Now, it appears the legislature is saying that they need to make more major cuts for this year alone. And we're dipping into the rainy day fund. Who knows what little surprises they're going to mandate, though, for next year. Who suffers? Well, of course, we all do. But the real losers are going to be the children. And who will catch flack when little Johnny's classroom is overcrowded and the school week is cut to 4 days? That's right, the teachers. You see, lawmakers will point their crooked little fingers at those running the schools and the classrooms and saying, hey, it's all your fault. You ought to be able to work with what we give you. And that's the way it's going to be until schools are forced to cut transportation, the arts, and finally, here it comes, get ready, athletics. Now, the mentality is going to work like this, and I quote, why, it's okay to cut the arts and transportation. Them youngins can learn to paint at home. And their folks can bring them to school and pick them up, or they can walk. That's what I did, and I made it just fine. I made it all the way to this here legislature. And I've been cutting taxes like crazy. We was paying too much taxes. But you can't seriously be thinking about cutting football. Why, that ain't American. Really? That's all you've got? Folks, we got trouble right here in River City, and nothing is being done to fix it. You know, Will Rogers once said, a man only learns by two things. One is reading, the other is association with smarter people. Well, it could be the time has come for folks in Oklahoma to start association with smarter people and then getting them to run for office. That's my perspective. When she came to Tulsa recently, she brought with her a woman who was there as history was written. You'll meet Darcy Tucker and her historic companion right after this.